just to give you an update of some off the field, the APR, we've dramatically increased that thing where we're third in the back, and that's an historical penalty, so that's been a great thing for us. And we're also #1 in the state of Michigan with the APR, which we're very proud of, and I think it's a tribute to Kathy and our academic staff, Jeff Stone, that do such a great job with this student athletes. We just passed the 7,000 mark on community service hours, which is something that when Nancy and myself came into town, we said we want to get back to this community, and we have a forum that we have with our student athletes that every time we send them out there, we get nothing but great things said about our student athletes, and I think again it's a credit to what these guys do when they do go out there. I thought we had a pretty good recruiting year. We did lose one, probably not a right place for him, but we ended up picking one. It's kind of like that Seinfeld. He used to lose $20 and you find $20 in his pocket, and that's kind of what happened to us. And we were very fortunate. And it sounds like we're going to have another one. So I think the recruiting, I think our staff has been, the staff has done the best job we've ever had here in terms of recruiting. We got some really go-getters out there who've done just a fabulous job. So just going by position, of course you met Alex. Alex is the leader of this of that offense. He's the guy that everybody turns to. He's we don't want to ever bring back his game. He was reckless. We want him out there. We want him playing hard. He's an inspiration to the kids around him. He understands the system. He's great to be around. The enthusiasm of practice, he uplifts the level, and I think the relationship he has with his other quarterbacks, of course Coach Ryan, who's played in this system, is just tremendous. Tyler is a great quarterback. He's a guy that can really throw it. He's done some great things. We have Mike Parrish behind him. He's an all-state kid in Illinois, so we feel great about what our quarterback situation is. Our wideouts, we lost Juan Nunez, who was a really productive guy, a great person. He's in the Cleveland Browns camp right now. We bring back Jordan. Jordan's really a great football player, but Jordan is a better person and a better leader than he is a football player, so that kind of gives you a little bit of idea of what we think about Jordan. He took those young kids under his wing during the summer. Him and Robert are two guys that we can count on to do almost everything out there. They're just as good as going out there having another coach out there. The third guy, I think Caleb Ravenel, we see him, I know Graham sees him a little bit more than other guys. This guy's a talented guy. This guy can play. And he's just had that injury bug. For this first week, he's been injury-free, and when he's out there, this guy's good. I mean, he's real good. So I think Eric Monet has really made great strides the last 2 days, catching the ball better with his hands. And then the young guys, when you watch the young guys run around, a couple of those guys are pretty good. So I think we hit the jackpot on those guys there. And Jesse York and Courtney Bynes. Timmy Keese had a little bit of hamstring, but I think he showed some flashes when he was out there. And Kendrick Roberts is another guy that I think he'll develop into a great one. So I don't know how many guys will redshirt out there. I think it really depends on guys like Ansel Ponder, Eric Monet, and those guys. Up front, there was a concern in the spring, but it's a concern everywhere in the country. I mean, when you're looking, I just read an article today, I think Syracuse had nine healthy offensive linemen in camp. We always want to go 17. They got 9 right now. So it's like that all over the country. They're hard to find. They're hard to, football's a tough game. Football is it's not like the biggest kid out there. You play football just because you're the biggest guy out there, and you get to this level, and all of a sudden the guy over the top of you, he's just as big. Now you got to figure out where the heart's at. But I think our right tackle, Daniel O'Neill, was vastly improved. I think he's done really well. I think our right guard, we're kind of trying to figure out what the right combo is, who's a better guard, who's a better center. But Kevin Gallagher and Terry Davison will play one of those. We thought we could move Anthony in the guard, but we're going to move him back out just because I think that's the most important position on the line there to protect Alex's blind side. And then Greg Peterson has been who's starting the guard right now. Because of 3 guys we lost to injury and defections of a couple kids, we brought in a couple JC guys. I think I'm not even going to attempt to try Mealy's name. Can you guys figure it out? I can't. I just call him Mealy. Huh?
That's a Mealy.
Thank you. I call him Mealy, and you know, he's the small one. He's got the hair in the back there, but he's really a good player. Deion Cameron, he's got a little bit ways to go, but I think he's got a chance to be a pretty good player. Tim Maka, he's out there. I think he's adjusting to the speed. You know, the problem he's got to go against Paul Hazel every day. And so sometimes that's a little bit intimidating for the speed factor, but I think he'll be okay. I think Travis Turner does some nice things, that James Christos does some nice things. So I think we've really stocked that thing pretty good. We only lose one, Anthony, until next year. The tight ends are still a work in progress. I think Dallas Walker's worked extremely hard in being that guy. And then it's going to be between Clark Musman and Jesus is starting. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Blake, who's a veteran out there. So we'll find out where we're at there. Matt Cutler is going to give us some reps there. All we need for those guys is personnel group and to kind of help us out in there. I don't think they have to be game breakers because I think we have them where we're at. The running back is is another. I've never had this in all my coaching career. This many guys I think can play, and so Tevin Drake, and Brian Fields, and Antoine Scriven, Darian Chance, Mike Johnson, Aaron Winchester, who are kind of messing around with on the other side. And we got 5 guys out there that it really doesn't make that big of a difference in practice. You just throw them in there and they go play. You know, I'd say right now Tevin's probably a little bit ahead because of his success last year. He's a bigger back there. But, you know, again, he's got to go out there and pass protect. But, you know, he's working on it. I think he'll be fine. Defensively, in the defensive front, as good as we've been since we've been here, Paul Hazel is a nightmare on the other side. The guy can run. He's explosive. Now, he's still only about 218, but still, he's got great work on the numbers and still explosive on there. The guy's 6'5", 6'6", and can run like a deer. Freddie Bishop, this is the first time Freddie's really been healthy. Freddie's had some injuries coming into camp 2 years in a row. And so he's a guy, he's healthy now, and actually you see it a little, he's a little bit behind with technique work because of what he has going through for the injuries, but he's going to be really a good player for us. Woody LeGrier is another guy I think is a really good player. So we got some guys there, and then inside, you know, we're anchored by Drew, who again, he's kind of like the Alex and Jordan over on the other side. Guy that works hard, does everything you're asking him to do, leader. Understand what it's all about. And Trevante Bowles, I think we shorted ourselves out. We got lucky with Demetrius Anderson, who's a guy that some of the UCF oversigned, and we were fortunate to get him here. Paul Dreer will give us some plays inside there. Has a little bit of a back problem, but is playing through it. And you know, we're not asking him to play 50 plays. Just really give us, you know, 10, 15 plays a game to help spell these 2 guys out there. And Brendan Gann is another guy. He's had a nice little spring so far. Linebackers, Mitch Sajak is a mainstay back there, a guy that's can get everybody lined up. Everybody respects what he's doing. Des Bozeman has looked really good. He can run. He'll still strike it. You know, we had practice yesterday and it's supposed to be what we call thud up. I don't think Des has that in his vocabulary. Again, we got to get it in his vocabulary before he hurts somebody. But he's a guy that is really has looked pretty good. Chris Prom is back there. We got some young kids, Devin Brandt and Nick Dancer guys, so we got to count on one of those 2. We're going to have to play for us. Got to get those guys ready. At the rover position, which is kind of like our nickel because of what's going on in college football today, Johnny Simon is much better than he was last year. Last year it was, you know, you got to understand those guys that get done to graduate. You know, they were playing on the yellow school bus last year, and now they're pulling up in a nice luxury bus going into a $108,000 seat stadium. That's a little bit of a shock for a kid with no really weight program before they can go in there. Well, these guys, those freshmen that came in, now all of a sudden they had the whole year, they had the weight room, they had the spring ball, they had the summer conditioning, and they're so much better. I mean, they understand what's going on. So with him and Petway, both of them played last year, but they're much better than what they were last year too. We moved Doug in as safety into the boundary, which I think has really helped them. But we really got great backups behind those guys. We had Johnny Henry, who can, maybe be the fastest guy on the team. He's back there at safety. At the other safeties, we got 3 young kids. And if you were going out recruiting, they're the guys you want. This Trevor Ishmael is backing up Johnny Simon. He's about up to 198. He's gained 6 pounds at camp. Which I guess either the food's real good or we're not working them hard enough, one of the two. And then we got Montavious Atkins in the back end, who's really a talented guy, and Justin Curry is really a talented guy, so we feel good there. The corners is a spot that we got to be a little bit careful at. We got, I think Lewis Toller is playing really well, and I think Garrett Smith is playing really well. We're trying Aaron Winchester there to get him more in the field out there. He can give us some things in packages and understand the defense, and we can bring him off the edge. He can cover a guy in the slot. So we like what we're seeing from Aaron. We just got to find that just probably a little bit better. And then we got Darvon Wallace gives us a little something out there. Raheem Buxton, who understands a little bit better. Last year he's kind of like a chicken cut with his head cut off, running all around, and making plays, but getting you beat in other plays with a typical freshman. But all those guys, they got that extra year, and it makes a big difference. I think kicking, if we're not the best in the conference, I'd be shocked with John Potter and Ben Armour. Both those guys had really productive years last year, and they'll be the best in this league here. So we're really excited. We all share the same enthusiasm. It's our time, and I think it's our time to go out there and go get it done. The schedule of the first 5 games. But that's just what we do here, and we embrace it. Our team embraces, our administration embraces it. Our fans should embrace it. That's it. If you want to go out there, let's go play. And the first game is against Michigan. It seems like every year that we have a game scheduled with a team for the following year, the coaches let go or something happens. Just like 4 times in my career. I don't have a clue. You can talk, they're going to try to do a power run game over the other side, but with that quarterback, he's going to run around a little. Defensively, who knows? They say out of 4-3, but I've seen multiple variations of the 4-3, and bringing his expertise from the pros with the pressure of the quarterback, we got to be prepared for that. So we're going to have to go out there, but like I told our guys, our staff, we're going to do what we do best. Forget what the other guys are doing. We'll just go out there and do what we do. Try to out-scheme those guys. We've got a quarterback that understands blitz protections, and I think he'll do a great job whatever they throw out there. And if it doesn't, he'll just turn and run and go make plays that way. So that'll be fine. And then we got Illinois, who was the Texas Bowl winner, and then we got UConn, who was playing in a BCS game last year. And then, of course, our third game here. That's probably going to be, I bet you that's probably the more excitement you'll ever see in the Central West in this game, because it's early. Everybody should be feeling really good about themselves. And we'll feel good about ourselves, we'll feel good about themselves. It's an afternoon game, it's 12 o'clock, and if that place isn't full and rocking and rolling, there's something wrong. There really is. I know people will come out there and see it up in there. We know what it's all about. That elephant in the room, we see it. Hey, we got to go out and win. What else? You want bulletin board material? What? We all know what's going on. We're challenging these guys. We're challenging the coaches. We're doing everything we can to rectify that thing here. So looking forward to that game there, and then come back here for Bowling Green, and we got to go to Northern Illinois, and we also got to go to Toledo. But you know what? That's the way it is. We told the kids we got to win on the road. We play 6 bowl teams on the road. And again, I just mention that because you got to let these guys know that's reality. So we'll be. I think we're going to have a great year. I feel great about this football team. Feel great about the staff, how they're doing things, and we're looking forward to it.
Questions? Coach, you went for it on 4th down 30 times last year. Converted
only 30.
Only 30. Converted roughly 60% of those. Can you talk a little bit about what goes into your decision and your confidence in your team to actually go for it on 4th down?
Yeah, I think when you got a quarterback like Alex, he can make some things happen with his legs. Some games it's the elements involved. Some games when you're playing, with a stiff wind, if you don't if you don't make it, you know, you got field position. If you kick a field goal and you're playing a pretty good team, you're kicking off, they're getting the ball on the 45, sometimes because they'll win. I think that had an effect in one game. So, but I think it has a lot to do with that guy. I don't think we'll, you know, if conditions are about the same, you know, I don't think you'll see as much, you know, because I think we got a pretty good field goal kicker. But, you know, a lot of it has to do with weather conditions.
Coach, you said the Central game, since it's the MAC opener, you think that favors you guys, or it works vice versa?
Well, I think the guys with the best players wins, okay, and you know, and play the best way. We turned the ball over the last. You know, I still think we're you know, last year talent-wise, you know, I felt good, really good about it. We just turned the ball over. I think we had 5 turnovers, and I think they had 4 fumbles, and I think they got every one of them back. So we just got to make better advantage of our opportunities that we have out there. But you know, it's going to be fun. I mean, but we're not, of course. You know, the first one's a Michigan one. We got to go out there and go play well there.
Your experience having opposed Brady Hope before, you think that's going to help you, or do you think things are going to be totally different? Or
yeah, I think it's going to be really different. I mean, you bring in a guy, you know, Greg, who's, you know, from the NFL, and you know, the problem you got. I mean, in the NFL, you're not going to have too many running quarterbacks. You know, so some of the schemes you use, you know, you just say the guy can't run. You know, so you know, but you know, we got a guy who can run. So you know, what schemes are they going to use against us? That's the challenge that we have. What exactly? Because normally you get 3 or 4 or 5 blitzes you're practicing against, and then you know you're going to get one of them during the game, and you adjust to it. You hope your quarterback figures it out, right? And then that was that blitz for that game. Well, this one's like 30 that we got to practice against. But like I said, I think the way we do things offensively, I'm not too concerned about it in terms of can we pick it up. It's, you know, will we recognize it in time for us, and so I think we'll be okay. On the offensive side, they had Coach Parrish, who was running the offense when he was there. It's a different offense. It's being run right now. Al's more of a West Coast guy, but he has a quarterback that really is not a per se. If you look at college football, he's the ultimate spread guy. So I'm sure he'll put in his schemes there and go out there and take advantage of what Denard can do. Who's a great player. I mean, we're still on ESPN from his first carry. When he fumbled and kicked it, picked it up, and still ran there for a touchdown. He's a talented guy. The one good thing is that I think we got a little bit better team speed than we had when we first went against him.
Anything else for Coach?
Well, Jordan talked about falling short in the MAC and falling short against your rival. Do you like that he takes ownership of that, or do you expect the team to take ownership of that and moving forward?
Well, you know, in the Central Michigan, if they don't understand that, they haven't been around here for 4 months. Anytime you're walking the locker room, you're looking at the monitors, there's a reminder. In the MAC, well, we've let them know that will be a disappointment if we don't win the MAC. And that's how we all feel. Sometimes, some years you can't say it because you really are missing some pieces. I don't think we're missing pieces. I really don't.
Coach, last year you finished 93rd in the nation in rushing yards a game, and 16th in the nation in passing yards a game. Can you speak a little bit about how much it will help an already potent passing attack if the running game can get going?
Yeah, I think it will help. I think at a time, our problem, you know, being a play caller too, we're so good throwing the ball that, you know, Alex, I think, threw for 63%. And when you look at his numbers after the Idaho game, they're as good as anybody in the country. So it gets to a point where, you know, just throw it out there and let those guys go make plays. So I would like to be a little bit more patient and get and run the football. And I think we did that the last 3 games, and we were pretty effective. We were running. I know the one game, like Kent State, was like 4th in the country. I think when we played them in terms of giving up yards per rush, and we had 2 backs go over 100. So it takes a while, and that's the big emphasis really in this summer right now. at preseason camp is getting our guys to come off the ball and be more physical. I don't think we were really physical running the ball. And that's not entirely, their problem, because when you're able to throw it so much, that's a different mindset.